told you na. So the word unified approach or GLoBe na. Okay, I'll start from November 2019. That unified approach. Unified approach. See, I'll tell you now what exactly is GLoBe. GLoBe is actually the desire of the international community, the world government, the countries, that every MNE, every internationally operating business, obviously when it is above a certain threshold, and that threshold is fixed in October 2021 statement as 750 million euros. Fine. Okay. So every in scope MNE, internationally operating MNE should pay a certain minimum amount of tax. Okay. See, supposing diagrammatically, supposing this is zero tax rate, so zero tax revenue, tax rate, fine, zero tax rate. This is tax rate, and this would increase, fine. Okay. The minimum tax rate that has been agreed, in the October 2021 statement, that is 15%. So, meaning to say that the international community desires that every in-scope MNE should pay a minimum tax rate, and that tax rate should be equal to 15%. Obviously, in those countries in which the MNE group is operating, is carrying out its business. Obvious. 15. So this is the minimum tax rate. This is zero tax rate. See, supposing in any country, that MNE group is operating, and at present, that is before implementation of this GLoBe, it is just paying a tax rate of effective tax rate. It is only what ETR is, just effective tax rate is only 10%. So there is a 5% shortfall. After the implementation of GLoBe proposals, it is proposed that in-scope MNE should pay 15% tax. At present, it is paying only 10% tax. So this remaining 5%, this 5% tax, which that MNE, in-scope MNE, will now have to pay after the implementation of GLoBe proposals, this will bring up the tax paid by that MNE. This will bring up the tax paid by that MNE, and this will raise the tax paid by that MNE up to the minimum tax rate. In other words, this 5% will top up like a recharge coupon. You top up your phone balance, prepaid balance. This 5% will top up the balance, top up the tax paid by the MNE. Fine. So this is in substance the crux of this GLoBe. That GLoBe proposals are sort of acting as they would levy a tax that would be acting as a top-up tax. Right? So this 5% would be a top-up tax. This is a top-up tax which would top up the tax that is paid by that in-scope MNE. Is it clear? So this would be that GLoBe tax. GLoBe. And once this 5% tax is paid, then obviously the minimum tax rate would be achieved. This is the essence of GLoBe. Fine. Now, okay, is this basic essence clear to everyone? How would you achieve this? That is something else, but this is the essence. Yes or no? Chinese Sahil, Swati.
Yes, okay. Yes, clear.
Swati? 5%. So this would be the top-up tax. Fine. Okay. Now the mechanism the mechanisms by which this 5% top-up tax is to be obtained or is to be levied upon the in-scope M&E, there are certain mechanisms. What are those mechanisms?
Yes, sir.
Right. The mechanism by which the 5% tax, the top-up tax would be levied or would be collected from the in-scope M&Es, there are 4 mechanisms. Fine. And this November 2019 unified approach that mentioned, or rather that explained in brief, those 4 mechanisms for the first time. Right. So the mechanisms for mechanisms for achieving the top-up tax, for achieving the top-up tax, achieving, levying, imposing the top-up tax on the M&E, they were mentioned here. 4 mechanisms. What are those mechanisms? First of all, the mechanism is very fancy looking terminology. IIR, income inclusion rate. Fine. IIR. Second is income inclusion rule, rather not rate, income inclusion rule. IIR. Second one is what? Second one is your UTPR, under taxed payment rule. IIR, income inclusion rule. Second one is UTPR, under taxed payment rule. Third one is switch over rule. And the fourth one is STTR, subject to tax rule. Don't worry, I will take you to that page number from where I have taken these abbreviations or acronyms. That is in this 2019 document that I have already shared with you. So listen carefully. Just listen patiently. Right? So income inclusion rule, under tax payment rule, switchover rule, and your subject to tax rule. These are the 4 rules or 4 mechanisms by which this top-up tax under the GLoBe proposal would be achieved. Getting up?